Well, this is your to be continued for Saint Germain. Because as I begin to try to speak truth to you, people are trying to project anger and shut down my throat chakra so I cough and can't speak. They do not want me sharing this knowledge with you, you understand? Because they've corrupted your consciousness. I've been trying to educate Marcos Dreyer for an entire year on parasitic consciousness, symbiotic consciousness, God consciousness. I've been trying to help him understand that things have been mutilated and misinformation is causing a lot of problems. You understand? Now, what would be the major information that's really causing us trouble? The importance of your soul and your spirit and your virtues, for one. It's not just you are what you eat. You are what you think. The think it, don't speak it is the worst thing you can do. You understand? Right now you have people that's whole life is built on lies. You think it's just Epstein and some of these few really rich and elite, but it's your everyday people like me. Okay? I'm just a nobody, a little old coal miner's daughter from West by God, Virginia, up in a holler. I don't come from really any important legacy. I come from Mothman territory in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where there's some really bizarre, dark stuff. I was raised in a very poor family, and I was very shocked when my father died, and he had 2-wake standing room only with all these people everywhere, even the owners and the heads of his company that he died at, Southern High Coal Mine. Now, Southern High Coal Company, the owners came in and was like, oh, hey, LG, hey, Travis, hey, Connie. And then they looked at me and was like, Connie, who is this? And Gertrude Columbine Fitzwater Gray said, that's Lloyd Gray's daughter. Well, that disturbing revelation devastated me. And I thought my father was ashamed of me, didn't want anything to do with me. When I found out later on he was protecting me. Apparently my father was Freemason. That's how he got me the job at Moose Lodge. And you do realize the Moose Lodges all across the United States are just Jim Crow hangouts for white people who are Freemasons. Okay? Now, we have black Freemasons now. But if you go into the older sects of Freemasons, they don't want to have anything to do with the colored people, you see. Because the majority of your hidden societies are racist white people all over the planet. Germany, Italy, France, Brazil, you understand? Illuminati, Freemasons, I don't even know half the occult organizations. I'm just learning because I refuse to be a part of any of it. I am a recluse, mystic. You understand? I sit and I pray and I stay alone and I take care of my kid and I learn a lot of stuff. But I'm not a part of any witch covenant, any devil-worshipping organization. I'm not a part of any guru's operation. I'm not a Buddhist who has a guru, okay? Ram Dass, I'm sorry. I'm not interested. Because even the Eastern gurus who are not flagrantly toxic, like the white people over here, are allowing it to happen. And Madame Blavatsky tells you all, inaction and a deed of mercy is the same as committing a deadly sin. So why is the Catholic order allow nuns to be mystics but tell their Roman Catholic women not to do mysticism because it's witchcraft? But they got a Saint Gertrude, and her feast day is the day I divorced Marcos, 11/16. I didn't divorce him that day. I was in labor with my kid, and female Judge Nyberg stamps my divorce papers while I'm in labor. Now her husband, the male Judge Nyberg, does not like me and would like to see me set behind bars, which he tried. Okay? Please understand, these are your elitists. And these secret organizations and these elitists cannot save you from yourself. Only knowledge can set you free in the appropriate use of it. Only by taking responsibility and consequences for the knowledge that you have and yield and wield and learn will you be free. Now I'm done with the games. I have a friend, Sir Roy, the only friend in Jesus that I have that will take me off the streets. 5 personalities, schizophrenic, on a conditional release, depending on the Phillipsburg Police Department and his probation officer, Pelosi, to guide him to stay competent in the community. And a nonprofit organization that's responsible for him and make sure he's competent in doing things safely and stays okay for the community. And I went in this man's house and I watched people doing heroin, beating on him, beating on the walls, tearing up the place, ripping fans out of the ceiling, flopped over in the bathroom with needles hanging out of them, flopping around the house with their tits hanging out, and him taking his furniture, his clothes, whatever he had, and giving it to people. Okay? Cooking for him, bringing him off the street. And then I woke him up and said, Roy, you're not doing God's work. These people are taking advantage of you. They would spin out his 5 personalities. He would leave the house and I would lay there on that couch. You know what I watched him do? Deal drugs right out his front door. And then they arrested Sir Roy on 3/14/2023 for something he's not even responsible for because he's incompetent. And you got a whole community saying he broke the law, he didn't register as a sex offender, and I'm like, when was he a sex offender? And then the family that was handing us medical marijuana, so he had some, and beating him, turned on him, and set him up and said he touched their little girl. They're lying. They're all lying. They wanted him out of that community because we were exposing the drug dealers and the drug addicts that were coming in and out of his house that were all up and down Moore Street in Phillipsburg, Phillipsburg, New Jersey. West Virginia's coming out of my mouth because I just posted something. They're all going to get hot. You need to understand this is not a good thing. Other people were responsible for him. He's incompetent. Now he's in jail for allegations from people who were his good friends, giving him food, taking him in, having a meal with him. And then they're screaming, he's evil, he didn't register. He was never supposed to be doing anything. He's incompetent on a conditional release. And I met that probation officer and I handed him my ID. I was a homeless veteran and a troubled veteran in need of help with my child their whole life. I have been on the run and lived 15, 16 different places by the time my child's 17 years old. Okay? And 12 days before they turned 18, 11/06/2022, I find out months later, Bruce Martin of Skatopia is released the very same day my kid's acting like they're possessed with a demon for days. 3 nights and 4 days of suicide watch of a kid who wants me to murder him. And then this lovely man named Matlock, over top of police whatever, and this other lady, Marissa, of the freaking crisis organization there, didn't do anything for us. Just videoed me. You think your kid's possessed? And I'm like, no, I don't know. I'm not a professional. You need to get a hold of Marcos Dreyer. But Marcos Dreyer isn't wanting to practice as an exorcist anymore. You understand? He doesn't want to be a priest for Christ anymore. He works for Siemens Industries. And he's went from marketing and research to the director of strategic intelligence, while I suffer screaming at him, begging for help from him in the Catholic order, and nobody wants to help us. And the Lord saved me once again and brought me and gave me options, and I came to Arizona. And I'm in a beautiful situation, and I'm healed. And I'm going to educate you people on the stuff they don't want you to know. Like the inverted 7 chakras that poison and pollute your mind, which they call the 7 deadly sins. And the demons and the devils, they're a difference. If you don't know the difference between demons and devils, you're in a big world of shit. And not a good one. It stinks. It's horrible to not have the information you need to live the best life you can. And you want to know what else hurts and is really crappy? When you got blood relatives that could have helped you and none of them want to. When you have a government on the East Coast that should have helped me and didn't. And when you got an ex-husband that's supposed to be a sacred knight of Christ, secret service for Jesus when he returns, and he'd rather help occultists that make money for him and open businesses and pollute your mind than help tell the truth. I told him not to become a psychologist. I already had my degree. He went back and did it all anyway. Do you know why? To do exactly what he's done now. Create more confusion. And I'm waiting on Marcos to show up because we got a lot of work to do. And we got a lot of information to share. And we got a lot of information to integrate so that misinformation is corrected. We don't know when he's going to show up. We don't know if he's going to show up. I'm wanting to be the train wreck that I am because I don't understand this cyber world. You got it? I don't understand it. As Marcus Dreyer said to me, wow, it's strange seeing you on social media of sorts, ex-wife. Yeah, it is. I'm an ancient mystic, trained at the feet of Archangel Raziel, an angel they do not want you to know about because he is the angel of mysteries. And for all you people practicing occult work, you better stop and think and pray first. Because you're going to be responsible for what you do much quicker than you ever were before. And a lot of you don't even know what you're doing is wrong. And you weren't allowed to know who Saint Germain is because then you would know what your chakras are, and then you'd have to take responsibility not only for your knowledge, but the energy and the actions that they cause. They don't want you to elevate your consciousness. They don't want you to acknowledge the spirit which is attached to your soul. Okay? They want to keep you confused and have you watch movies like Doctor Strange so you play make-believe when a lot of it is actually real. Okay? Yeah, I got St. Christopher's medal on it. For Joseph Orlandi. I hope you free yourself and find your way back to the Lord, Joseph. The reason your St. Christopher medal went missing, they did magic on you. That's why you married your little Perry Mason woman, because they did dark magic on you, honey. Because you were supposed to be the godparent to my child, and you were supposed to stay my friend, which means I would have had competent people and resources and help. And they didn't want me to have any. So they took Marcos and Joseph Orlandi away.